Here is where the drama starts. Lap 30, 8 laps to go. Sandobi hoping to take advantage of these lapped cars. Poleski goes, dives on the right side. Very aggressive here. This is lap 4. The two Viceroys. Bill Frazier ahead of Matt Poleski. Frazier's off. Frazier hit the grass. You hit that tire wall, your day is done. Well, now it's lap 20. The Williams still trying to get around the Terrell team as he'll go around the lap car and around Mills at the same time. At the same time. He's got the inside corner. Will he ride the curb? Yes, he will. He will get him on the inside. Vito Maria leading us all into Moss's corner. Look at the beauty as his right side will cook the grass. Oh, a 180, no, a 360. Oh. Who will yield going into this corner? It's really not meant for too wide as it will be Gernald. Gernald will yield. Lots of smoke picking up from that Williams car. He is pushing it to the absolute limit. 26 of 30 now. Only 4 laps to go. He's going to get the run coming out the final corner. He's going to pull up side by side with the leader. It's going to be a drag race to the finish. Who is going to get there first? It's going to be...
The Grand Prix is in town, race fans, and today Notre Dame Island will be one of the noisiest places in the world. Who will add their name to the Wall of Champions today? Well, some of the great drivers of the sport have taken the spoils here and along that wall, but speed and focus will be the order of the day. So sit back and get ready as we bring you all the retro open wheel action from Green Flag to Victory Donuts, seen right here, live as it happens on the Global SimRacing Channel. Floating high above the St. Lawrence River, way up in the press box to bring you all the action today is my good friend Justin Prince and yours truly here, Sean Ambrose, our director, the amazing Joe Peak, armed with cameras located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by our GSRC camera guru, Dougie Beard. Now, if you've brought cyberspace into your place, then over the next few streaming award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines and all the stats and facts you need to appreciate the 30 laps of simulated historic open-wheel racing that will immediately follow. Justin, this week, we secretly slipped back across the border into Canada. A beautiful sight to see here. Why don't you fill us in on the less? Why don't you fill in the less acquainted with some of the info about this legendary circuit? Sorry about that, buddy.
It's okay. Well, first off, of course, I'm Canadian, so I didn't have to sneak across the border. But second, Sir Gilles Villeneuve, of course, is located in Montreal, Quebec, on the main man-made Isle of Notre Dame on the St. Lawrence River. Of course, made in part with Expo 67. The area was originally used as a long rowing and canoeing basin as well for the 1976 Summer Olympics. This racetrack, of course, was put on the island in 1978. The circuit has hosted the Canadian Grand Prix 37 times since it opened, with the first race won by Canada's own, the late Gilles Villeneuve. This place is something between a street circuit and a natural road course, to best describe it, with 13 turns scattered over the 4.5 kilometers, or 2.7 miles, of this racing surface. That creates a blend of high-speed curves and tight chicanes, together with a long straightaway preceded by a very tight hairpin. Because there's not much of a way of a runoff, attrition here could be steep because of the tight walls around this track. There isn't any elevation changes either to speak of, But don't take that to mean that this will be a boring race, because there are plenty of chances to overtake here in Montreal. But the best way to describe this and to really understand this place is to jump on board. Let's take a lap with your GSRC lap guide.
All right, we've got Amjad Yaman in the GSRC Lotus 79, so let's do a lap around Montreal. Down into the Senna S, it seems like a good passing spot on paper, but the switch back into the hairpin can make it very tricky to overtake on either side. Coming out of the turn, be careful getting to the throttle since the slow corners won't give you the downforce you need to gun it. Down into turns 3 and 4, watch out for the wall on the exit. It sits right at the edge of the pavement where it can grab the greedy. Turn 5 needs to be on the throttle as much as you can, which will be tough if you're understeering. Hold tight to the right on the approach to 6 and throw out the anchors. Hugging the apex in the first half of the chicane will be important because once again, you're forced to tiptoe a little bit as you feed onto the power. A few extra feet of acceleration will be important down this gently curving backstretch. Once you spot the bridge, let it drift to the left, line up your braking, and try to get it slowed up for turns 8 and 9. Stay off the big sausage curbs here to avoid upsetting the car because sliding around can easily chuck you into the wall on the right. Now we approach the only braking zone that isn't into a chicane. The casino hairpin offers a great chance to overtake, but it'll be very easy to get into the corner too deep. Expect some over-under moves to take place here. Wily drivers will make sure they can get on the gas earlier than their competitors to give them the most speed possible down the longest straight of the track. There's likely to be some draft battles here with the big hole this car punches in the air. The most difficult part will be spotting your brake marker and hitting it accurately. Coming into the last chicane, as always, avoid the wall of champions. Pulling a tank slapper into there is going to end your day in a hurry. But hopefully you kept it all together and have now finished a lap around Montreal.
A bad fast lap around this legendary circuit. Let's get straight to the driver standings, though, because qualifying well underway right now. Let's blow through those here real quickly. It's still Journo Frisch at the top, 892 points. Nuno Moreira, 39 points behind at the moment. Kaya Ruokola sitting 97 points back on the heels of some good runs, though, has moved 3 spots up in the points. Those points will be up here in just a second. Trust me on that. There we go. So Matt Wood slips. Now, he was up in that top 3, and you know what? Again, Kaya Ruokola has been really, really hot here the past couple weeks, and now finds himself up in 3rd. Matt Wood sliding back to 4th. Alex Millward also slips down the board and finds himself now in 5th, 164 points. So a big hit last week, and Alex is going to need to, well, let's face it, going to need to be a little bit better here today, and hope to get back in this battle. Now let's look at the team standings here real quick. And Albalad, Saudi iRacing Team Williams, still on top right now, 176 points. Leger Titan, they pick up a couple of points, find themselves there now in 2nd, still in 2nd, now only 4 points behind. Now Scuderia Ferrari Pacific, they are now in 3rd up the board this week, now just 7 points out behind Albalad. So things really heating up here at the top. Warsteiner coming up the board. It was Parmalat that took the tough hit last week. Gilles Tau and Nuno Moreira not able to get enough points to stay ahead. So great battle in the team standings. And, you know, Justin, the Lotus 79 Team Championship is always picking up new viewers. So for those of us joining us for the first time, why don't you talk to them about the race details today?
Thank you very much. Of course, this is round 9 of 12 for the season here for the Lotus 79s. Of course, with the drop rounds, those water drops, of course, count as the drops. 4 for drivers, 2 for teams, and what will be an entertaining race because it will be 30 laps, open setups, with no stops for fuel to be expected, obviously, at this point. So, going full head-on to try and battle for as many positions as you can. You also have to worry about the incident cap, though. That is at 17 points. Of course, the points also count under the official iRacing point. Of course, with the track temp, about 72 degrees air temp, 82 degrees Fahrenheit, meaning grip is a bit more higher, of course, compared to what some of these drivers had in practice before then, where some had to deal with 98-degree weather, Sean.
Yeah, and that is going to be a bit of a factor. We've got a little bit of wind. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. 11 miles an hour gusting. This is a pretty flat track, so I don't think we need to worry about that too much. But yeah, definitely a little bit more moderate with the track temperature right now at 84 degrees and mostly cloudy. We should see maybe some better sections on this track. Maybe turn 4, a little more grip through there is going to help, and certainly turn 6. It could be a big help there not to be quite so slick. Now, qualifying, wrapping up here real quickly. Journo Frisch just got up to the top with a 125.7. Matt Wood with a 125.8. Very, very close here at the top. Nuno Moreira with a 125.9. Cairo Cola with a 126 flat. So there you go. Lear Hughes just behind him with a 126 flat. Victor Rodriguez also in the 126 flat. So very, very, very tight times here at the top. Let's go ahead and go to that grid now, as we won't have much time here when they grid up. Journo Frisch is your pole sitter. Matt Wood will start second today. Nuno Moreira, third place. Cairo Cola starting fourth. Lear Hughes in row 3 with Victor Rodriguez. And row 4 is going to be the preacher, Juha Norlampi, right alongside Ove Trengerade. Row 5, Pablo Suarez and Gil Tao.
Just behind them, of course, in row number 6, it is Wiltsmeyer with one with Bofia. John Stevens follows them off with Tommy Mikel Yunhola behind them, of course, in 13th and 14th spots. The 24 machine of Antonio Asiocono starts in 15th spot today, along with Daniel Gusto. Pedro Moto Lopes will follow them off in 17th with 18th Hugo Arjaro. Charles Eric Lerman party starts off in 19th. John G. Hill starts off in the 20th position.
All right, here we go. Row 11, Robert Simpkins, Joao Brito. And row 12, Andrew Jones, Nicholas Wyatt. 25th, Andrew Eng, Johnny Bell. 26th, 27th, Robin Stevenson. Brian Williams, 28th. Alex Millward, 29th. 30th, Alexander Krujinov. Craig Fretwell in 31st. Paul Schwind, 32nd. Germano Cervini, 33rd. Justin Gully, 34th. And Michael Burton, the Texan, will start 35th today. And there we go. As we get ready, everybody still waiting on Journo Frisch to get to the grid. This is going to be a big run here. They're all going to start, not even get a chance to open up the throttle on these machines before they have to navigate this Senna complex here from the standing start. Folks, it's going to get tight. It's going to happen quick. And it could be a mess, but we've got a great field here today, 35 cars. Let's have some fun with it. It's just about everybody is on the grid. And Antonino Arcia Diacono is in his car. He is ready. Alexander Krusinoff, the lights are up. Here we go. As we wait to start, there they are off. They're off down in the center. Journo Frisch going to get there first. Oh, is that Matt Wood sliding off? Journo going to hold him down, though. Bunch of cars. We've got another car back there off. Navigating down through 3 into 4.
Yeah, looks like Nicholas Ware got the worst out of that in the first complex for sure, because he's all the way in the back with it. Looks like a fair amount of damage. And in our car round,
having trouble getting the grip down. I think it was Hugo Rojo that spun back there.
Yeah, I think it was Paul Schwind actually in the number 28 machine that went around now. So he lost a lot of time. Now Hugo Ajaro just went off the track as well in the next section of the corners. So a lot of close racing early to start off. Drivers being aggressive where drivers are going off the course. I think just going to try and go too fast to hope they don't get rear-ended at this point.
Well, Journo Frisch has gotten off to a blazing start up front. Nuno Moreira already on the attack. Kaya Cola now got to watch out because Kaya has got Lear Hughes, Victor Rodriguez in tow. Here comes the preacher, Johan Orlepi. Oh! Kaya Rucola gets hit from behind there. I think that was from Lear Hughes. Rucola able to keep on going, but I think Rucola's got damage on the car. Or, no, might have gotten a slowdown penalty for going through there. Several cars getting by. Tommy Unhola. Pablo Lambarra Suarez. It's a piñata full of bees right now, as Soup likes to say.
Yeah, this is a lot of hecticness. There was 35 cars, of course, on the grid today, and now, I think at this point, a lot of drivers might be trying to get positions early on, try and get some open air maybe, and it's leading to some drivers having some late braking, causing some troubles here. Like Hughes now has the damage, of course, on the front wing on the left side. Almost had a bit of a tie-up in front, near up the front, where Hughes almost got bumped, got another bump in there as well. So everyone's got to start calming down here, being patient, or else you won't have a car for the finish.
Well, the only drivers that are safe right now are the ones here in the top three. Everybody else behind them fighting hard, and Ove Trengrade already picking up several positive spots here. Ove on the attack, trying to pick up the Preacher right in front of him. That's a tall order for anybody. And more movement here, trying to get into the top 10. Antonio Arcediacono just passes Gilles Tao, getting into that 11th spot.
Yes.
Still, a lot of opportunities for position here. Unhola in a hard fight right now, chasing down Sean Wiltshire. Coming around the outside, got two tires in the grass across the line. Got to get into the braking zone here for Senna. Side by side. Unhola really taking it to Sean Wiltshire, but Wiltshire is going to get the edge off the exit. Going to get to turn 3 first, and boy, Unhola opens the door there for Kaya Rucola. Rucola takes the position up to 7. Rucola down 3, struggled there on the start, but seems to be back on his horse.
Yeah, able to recover from a lot of the hecticness, to having to take deep breaths. Already a couple cars having to go into the pits, in fact, from those first couple laps. Now everyone should start to settle down, try and make their moves. You see the cars in pit lane and go from here. As now Suarez just lost a spot to Hughes, for example. Well, it's been right now for Hughes trying to continue to recover, try and use a bit of the slipstream to close up the gaps, as it is too wide for position for a top 5.
All right, our leader already having to get by traffic. Cervini gets out of the way. Looking at the battle for 7th, though, here, coming down the back straight. Down to the wall of champions. And they're going to try and go side by side. Somebody's going to have to give up there. Oh, and he's around.
You took too much of an aggressive line on the final corner and got bounced around by the rumble strips. So now Wiltshire is going to lose a heck of a lot of spots. He was battling for that 7th spot, as you mentioned. He's all the way back to 16th because I'm having to go a bit more tighter in to avoid contact with our cars.
All right, well, everybody still moving here, moving along. Bell's got a problem. Yeah, let's see here what happened to Johnny Bell. And Johnny just spins it by himself in the braking zone there, coming out of the long front straight. You see it here. It just hits the braking zone, and the car is going to come around. And that, yeah, you know what? I didn't see that initially, but he did clip that one car there. Who was that? Oh, that was Craig Fretwell. So Fretwell going to suffer some damage from that as well. Both still out there running though, so nobody needing to pit yet. Yeah. Let's go back up to the battle for 7th. Unhola is the man in 7th. He's trying to hold off Lear Hughes here. We're used to seeing Lear week after week be one of the top contenders. Now he's got a great battle on his hands here with Unhola, trying to figure out a way to get around. Going to have an opportunity here out of the turn. This turn 4, so tough to navigate. Always got to be careful not to kiss that wall there out to the right. Lear still giving great chase here. Keeping him right in his crosshairs. And let's go to the battle for 12th real quick. Daniele Gattuso in front of Charles Lemelin and Kiridan Bouafia chasing right now. Used to seeing him leading and not being the chaser, but right now it is the case. He's going to set this up for a pass. Bouafia coming along, Lemelin side by side, down to the hairpin here. And Bouafia going to win that battle in Lepingle.
Yeah, that was a perfectly timed pass there. You do have to deal with the bump, of course, leading up into the tight hairpin, but able to use the slipstream and have the speed and the late brakes as Hughes has made the pass and is making the pass, in fact, and getting bumped into a tire wall.
That did not work out, I think, like anybody intended. And, man, catching the top of that curb at the end for Hughes was the worst part of it. Here we go. Down to the wall of champions off the back straight on the replay. They're going to get side by side in to this section, and Justin, as you see, it just, like I said, didn't finish up well at all. Lear hits the top of that and off to the right, and hits it really hard. Lear now in the pits and out of the car.
Yeah, that's going to definitely be the day done, joining the many drivers that have plowed into the wall of champions there. Just as that started off, Wiltshire got into a bit of trouble right as the replay was being showed up into Virage Senna.
Yeah, trouble for Wiltshire, and man, Wiltshire, a victim of just honestly Alex Millward getting in really, really hot in the Senna. And boy, that's a mess for them. Well, all right, let's stick with the action on track. As Journo Free still our leader, and not just by a little bit anymore, really starting to pull away. Nuno Moreira having trouble catching up with our leader, and Nuno feeling the heat from Victor Rodriguez here just a bit.
Yeah, he is feeling the heat here and probably having to look through the mirrors. And compared to the leaders right now, he's about a half a second off for the past 3 laps in terms of pace. So now he's got to find a way to not only hold on to the position, but gain time, whether it's maybe going touch bit later for the braking or trying to be a bit more aggressive, try and close up the gap, because it is growing more and more and more as the laps continue to tick on for Moreira trying to keep up. Rodriguez, he just had a few bad sections of corners, so he just lost a lot of the time he gained there on Moreira. He's going to try and close it up with late braking. Yeah, this is going to be hard to get up because he's lost a lot of the time, I think, during Sector 2 for this lap.
I can't stress how many battles are going on. A lot of them, folks. Can we go back to 17th real quick? We're battle for 16th, actually. Craig Fretwell right now put a lot of pressure on Joao Brito. Fretwell is up 14 spots. He started 31st, and now he's battling to take another one away. Gets a nice run there out of the turn, coming up alongside. He's going to drop Joao Brito. Brito going to let him go as they get down to the hairpin.
Yeah, pardon me, when you're in this position, you don't want to race too aggressively here, Sean, where it's battling for 16th spot. Yes, you like to get as many spots as you can. You don't want to end up burning up the tires or battling for so long where you have no chance to catch up to the next car in front of you. Right now, that's Wiltshire right now after his troubles. So you just have to, if you know you're going to be in too aggressive battle, especially with Williams closing up behind these guys too, be patient, be calm, just let the faster car by. You might be able to reel them in later.
All right, now I want to go to the battle for 7th. Now let's check in with that, because Kiridan Bouafia now sits in 9th. Has gotten past Daniele Gattuso. We saw him past Lemelin before, and now Bouafia has Suarez and Giltau right in front of him. And this is going to be action-packed, folks, because Kiridan Bouafia has done nothing but pick up spots here over the last several laps, and this should be fun to watch. As now Boafia gets in the tow, coming around, going to do it from the outside here in the hairpin, going to try. Good grip there for Boafia. Man, able to get the power down immediately. Nice pass there on Suarez. Suarez going to try and take a look back at it. Down the straight, going to try and get there first of the wall. No, Suarez runs out of track, backs out of it smartly. And Boafia going to continue the assault now, trying to get a run on Gilles down into Senna. Back there, Suarez was looking for a line, couldn't find it. Boafia going to make it pretty hard to catch up, pretty hard to pass at this point. Now, if he can get this spot away from Gilles, that'll still leave him about 13 seconds to go catch Kaya Ruokola. Not impossible, but a long way to go.
Yeah, there's still a long ways to go. We're not even a third of the way through the race, so you have the time where you can try and reel them in, try and maybe use the slipstreams to your advantage. It's just going to have to make sure you hit your marks the way you need to on this very tough circuit and hope that maybe Ruokola, for example, gets stuck with lap traffic, because that is starting to become the case with a couple cars near the back sections. That hasn't been too much of an issue quite yet, but when a lot of these drivers come out of the repairs that are still in the pits, that is going to be a situation here, especially with these situations. Battle for position.
Yeah, here we go. Boafia taking that look now. Yeah, Gilles makes a bit of a mistake in the hairpin, but those two still battling back here. The Warsteiner machine and Boafia coming alongside. No, he's not the Warsteiner machine. I'm sorry. I thought it. Looking at it from the wrong angle. Oh, and contact between the two. Oh, and right now it looks like the winner of that is going to be Caradine Boafia as he gets away from it first. That's up to 7. Bit of a punt there on Gilles. Let's look at the replay. And this is, I don't know. I'm going to call it a racing incident, Justin. This is two guys fighting really hard for position here.
Yeah, especially the same sort of real estate. I think Boafia tried to go in, dive it into the corner. Toe tried to come down maybe for it to exit off the corner. They just fought for the same piece of real estate, bounced off each other. Boafia still going. No damage really whatsoever. Toe has a slight touch on the front wing. Slight touch for Boafia on the right side, but I don't think it's going to really affect them, if at all. And now, Toe's going to have to deal with an air battle with Suarez.
Yeah, we'll come back live. Let's go to that battle, because Toe almost lost that position to Suarez out of the hairpin. Toe has got him here down the straight on the wall of champions. And Gilles going to go ahead and back out of it. Just, you know, when you're running the track and you push it, you're going to overdrive that. You do not want to outbreak yourself in the wall of champions.
Exactly, and you don't want to end up having where it's like you're so close side by side, you force the air driver onto the tire, onto the rumble strips, and have that situation we've seen a few laps ago where they might bounce off the rumble strips into the wall of champions. So, might be what his thought is, as we have trouble with the lap car.
Yeah, and boy, Justin Gully was just kind of in the middle of that all as they were coming up trying to make that turn. Let's go ahead and go to the replay and check this out. Justin, you just brought it up about a half a lap ago as the traffic was really starting to begin to be a bit of a factor. And you're going to see Gilles just run right up here on Gully, heading into turn 4. That's just a tough break. It's going to bend up both those cars a bit.
Yeah, from what it looks like, I think Toe wasn't expecting as much of a break from going, maybe. And it just ends up causing trouble for him. I don't think it added more damage to Toe's car, luckily for him, but it did lose him 2 spots to Suarez and Gusteau. just like that from all of the tangling around as well. He has now a battle to worry about for 10th spot because someone that's very fast is closing on up.
Well, Daniele, I'm watching Gattuso right now. Gattuso trying to get this spot away from Pablo Suarez. And Gattuso right on him, right under the wing, going into Senna. And Gilto is starting to recover just a bit. He's back into this fight. And I want to give a quick shout out to Charles Eric Lemelin, who is up 8 spots, but Robert Simpkins having trouble out on track and went for a wild ride. I just catching that. This just happened a moment ago here. He was side by side coming out of the hairpin with Germano Cervini. I'm trying to... And we've got a replay of it. There's the end of it. Try and catch what happened. Yeah, you know, it looks like Robert tried to slip in and maybe get some draft and just misjudged it. Majorly misjudged it. To probably the understatement of this race anyway. But boy, that came with a heavy, it took a heavy toll. So come back, let's go back to, yeah, Suarez, Gattuso still battling it out. Gattuso took a look down to the wall of champions, could not pull it off, and boy, that came at a major sacrifice as he loses some time there to Suarez as they come back down into Senna.
Look at Toad trying to dive it in, trying to switch the gear late there to close up the gap. Almost got in the back. So it looks like Gilto wants to get the positions back that he lost before, but just lost a bit of time because of a bad exit through that section of corners just now.
All right, let's go back. Let's check back in with the front here. Okay, now Jarno Frisch continues to really outclass the field. He is only just under 3.5 seconds, so it hasn't really changed much in the last several laps. That should be encouraging to Nuno Moreira and Victor Rodriguez, but these two still in quite a bit of a fight. Nuno's been able to keep Rodriguez behind him. Rodriguez still keeps taking a look, as we saw there on screen, but not able to get a pass done.
Yeah, he just can't seem to get the right timing. Rodriguez, whenever he gets up close, ends up losing a lot of time, particularly it seems in Sector 2, it's been for much of the past few laps. So he's just been struggling right here, for example. The exits out of some of these corners, I believe that was just out of 6 and 7. That's where he loses his time, as well as this next quick S of quick right, quick left. Loses a bit, actually gains a slight touch more time, this time able to recover. Just can't get the right turn way he needs to enter these corners to be able to make a pass, it seems, today.
Matt Wood just got around Andrew Eng. I'm sorry, Wood got around Eng, and Wood, I think Wood just took it a little wide in the hairpin, and then Eng got around. Well, it was Eng that actually went wide in the hairpin there, got offline, and Wood able to take the spot away. Eng not able to fight back and get it down the straightaway. A little bit too far back to get it done. And Eng actually starting to pull away just a little bit. I'm sorry, Wood starting to pull away just a little bit. I don't know why I couldn't get that right.
They have somewhat similar cars, I guess you can really say, but Wood's got absolutely a lot more speed at this point. That was for 20th spot, by the way. The lap time's about 2-second difference between Wood and Eng. Eng's fastest lap has been in the 130s today, so I think Eng's just trying to get as good of a run as he can at this point where it's at it on the racetrack, especially with the time. Just try and get a decent points day, go from there.
Gilto taking a look at Daniele Gattuso going down into Senna. All still battling here for that 8th spot, chasing Pablo Suarez. Gilto, though, right under the gearbox here of Daniele Gattuso. so careful here getting through. Car always wants to track out to that wall.
Yeah, especially on the exits. We have a battle for P2.
Rodriguez has gotten there finally. Victor gets it. Got it for now. Across the line. That'll be second place for Victor Rodriguez. Finally, he clears Nuno Moreira in Senna. Hey, let's get the replay of this. We had been waiting on that battle to erupt. You're going to see here, they almost make contact here. And Rodriguez sliding it through the wall of champions there, almost all the way out. Keeps Nuno Moreira at bay and takes the spot away. Victor had been working on that for several laps. We've passed the halfway point. Good time to make a pass. Question is, can Victor... I don't think Victor was being held up, to be honest with you. Is he going to have any more speed than Nuno to go catch a Journo free? She was now 3.7 seconds up ahead. We got about 14 laps when they come across the line to figure that out. And in traffic, going to be a factor because there is lap traffic on the track right now, and they're going to have to figure out a way to manage that because they've got quite Victor and Nuno have quite a field in front of them here to get through.
Yeah, a lot of drivers here. These are positions inside the top 20, mind you, up in front of them. Jones up in front, Wood up in front. Then there's Frisch that has got around both of them. And then you have the positions like Brito and Williams right now for 17th spots. So they got to get their clean. They not only have to get themselves through clean, but they got to hope that Frisch struggles to get around them or reaches them in, say, very tight sections, especially in the Sector 1 and the start of Sector number 2, to be able to gain up that time. It's still the 3.5. It's going to take a lot of good timing here. Rodriguez just got around one of them very quickly, though.
Well, right now it looks like we still have 24. I see 24 out here running. We started with 35. I'd say with the threat of big trouble, I'd say that's pretty good here so far, halfway through the race.
Other than a bit of chaos of the first couple laps with the amount of traffic in the tight corners, it's been pretty clean for the most part. But I think the main thing we still have to look up again with this traffic, Rodriguez just gained 6/10 because of lap traffic. As we look again here, Rodriguez just worked by an error car, has only 2 cars working between them again in Brito and Williams he can use for a bit of drag. And hope they have to, I think he just has to hope that Frisch reaches these cars at the wrong time, especially since these are pretty fast cars, the lap that they're reaching in terms of lap traffic in the field.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, Journo is getting through the traffic like a hot knife through butter, but you see the time coming down. Victor is starting to reel Journo in just a bit. So hats off to Victor Rodriguez doing the very hard task of coming through traffic and having a little bit of an edge on Journo right now. Now, Journo still has more traffic in front of him, and quite frankly, he's going to have traffic in front of him for a good portion of the remainder of this race. So this is going to open a door for Victor Rodriguez if he can somehow figure out to get through the traffic more efficiently, and that's what we'll keep our eyes on. Big battle still here in the top 10, though. When we talk about 8th place, and it's the same cast of characters that we've referred to several times today, and it's Pablo Suarez, Daniele Gattuso, and Gilles Tau. I don't think either of those drivers really knows which one is going to have the edge here when we get to the closing laps of the race, but they've given us quite a show all day.
Yeah, they have at this point where they've just been very close to each other all day long. They all have very good speed still, as you see them separate out a little bit on one of these long straightaways. So they just have to, I think, if you want to make a pass, some of these drivers might be waiting to the final couple laps. They know it's going to be hard to have a pass back since these drivers are so even in terms of times. All of them running in the same group of 128.5, 128.7s. Just got to keep up the pressure really on the driver ahead of you in this group, especially with these close battles.
Oh, 18th is heating up. Looks like Matt Wood is starting to recover just a bit. Finally, poor Matt started all the way up front. Now finds himself back in 19th, trying to get ahead of Joao Brito. Brito, who we've talked about a couple times, not having a horrible drive, has gained 4 spots, but there goes Matt Wood.
Well, Brian Williams, I think, helped with that too by going off the racetrack there. I think he just overdrove the corner, maybe, seeing the traffic. Remember, this is where a lot of lap traffic 2 is working through. That's going to break up a lot of these battles. That helps out Wood, of course, as now it's just him and Brito now battling for position. This will be for 17th.
Matt Wood on his way, trying to get another spot back. He does have quite a bit of damage left on that machine, though, Justin. His straight line speed probably affected by that, and certainly not making it easy for him to turn or complete these passes in the turns. But boy, he does get a nice entry there to Senna, and looks like he may be able to get this done on Brito. But boy, off the exit, just not able to get the power down, and just let that lap car go by. I'm sorry, it was Juha Norlamp, that lap car. It was Juha Norlamp coming by that Matt got out of the way for. And boy, there's a name we haven't talked about the Preacher much today. He's had a fine, quiet race. Didn't have a great qualifying effort, and it got him off to a slow start, but he's picked up 3. He sits in 4th, and he's about 6.8 seconds away from Nuno Moreira, and that's going to be tough over these last 10.5 laps here for him to make up. But Juha keeping the car clean here so far, as we're now 20 laps through the race.
And just having to just keep it clean, having a very fast car. I don't know if he's going to have a chance to catch up unless there's some bad luck up in front of him for Norlampe. So, but now battle for Wood.
Yeah, Wood trying to go for this pass again down to the wall of champions. He's going to get there first. He gets the car to turn. So even with the damage, Matt still has that Lotus 79 turning on a dime, and he'll pick up another spot up to 17th.
Remember, he started up in 2nd place, so he had a fast car at the start of this. Just sequences of bad luck have led him all the way back to 17th, as we have a whole gaggle of cars again with that 8th through 10th spot again. Looks like we're about to have a battle for position here, Sean.
Yeah, here we go. We get the slipstream here down the backstretch. Who's going to get there first? Who's going to win it?
I think
still in the middle of this, though, but I just not able to find a decent line to get around Suarez yet. Suarez is a tough customer, man. He doesn't just let people get by, so that's that. You got to factor that in here. Suarez is going to fight and continue to fight for that and hang on to that 8th spot.
Yeah, I think at this point he doesn't want to lose what would be a very good finish for him and fall to just a 10th place finish. So he's going to try and keep up the speed. He knows he's right now the fastest car right now in terms of, one of the fastest I should say, in terms of this line other than toe. So maybe use a bit of the mirrors, trying to match the lines. You can see everyone trying to match as we have trouble.
Yeah, Charles Lemelin has trouble on track, and I was back in turn 6, I think that was. Got this on the replay here. It happened. It looked like it happened by himself. I don't think he's no contact. It just misses the braking zone there, and car comes around. You'll see it. Who is that? I'm trying to see who that was that just missed him. It's the car that was following.
I think it was Pedro Moto Lopez. Pardon me.
It was. Yeah, Lopez gets by that. Very, very fortunate to get by. Justin Gully just avoids it. Gully one of the cars towards the back right now, but we'll go on board with Lopez here. You're going to see him just skate by. Pedro getting very, very fortunate here. That's about as close as it gets, and that's great avoidance there. Good job for Pedro. He stays alive and keeps running. All right, so our leader, Journo Frisch, able to get a couple laps here clean, and now he's coming back up on traffic again. Sean Wiltshire, Charles Lemelin up in front of him. That's a battle for position. Journo Frisch approaching them, and Victor Rodriguez got it back to 3.2 seconds. I really think Victor's got a legitimate shot here. If he gets a little bit of help from the traffic, I think if he gets to Frisch, he might be able to race Frisch, because their times have been pretty close. Rodriguez with the fastest lap of the race right now, a 1:26.2.
Yeah, he's got clean air now too for, I think, the first time in the race as well. So he has the pace, and he's closing up quick because of the traffic here. He needs Frisch to just get held up for a couple tenths here and there. He's catching up because now Frisch, because the traffic is, while still in the 126s last time, probably going to fall a little bit downward. Just needs a bit of an edge here. It's down to 2.6 because of Lemonin there and Wiltshire, but it's going to be close. It's going to be absolutely close for Rodriguez, because now Rodriguez has to deal with those two cars again.
Yep. Okay, back to the battle for ninth. Gattuso, Gilto. Yeah, well, sometimes these battles, they start and then they stop. And but listen, Gattuso, Gilto, I expect that to come right down to the wire. I wonder how much the damage on Gilles' machine is really affecting him here. I think it's affecting him to the point that he can't pull off the pass. He can get close, he can set it up, but he can't execute the move, and I think he hits a wall. I think the limitation of whatever damage he's got is what's killing him right now.
Yeah, because he's been having the speed in terms of the laps, as you said, but just can't seem to maintain it enough to close up to make the move. So he's just absolutely struggling.
Just even right there, just to get a good run down the backstretch, just didn't seem like there was any toe there. And whereas the damage on the outside of the car doesn't look bad, I wonder if it was the under tray that was hurt, and it's really got him off here.
I think that might be the case at this point, because that helps a lot with the speed with the Lotus 79. So if that tray is damaged, then it's going to take away that ability to really suck up as much at this point, and we're seeing exactly that, where he's going to have to try and do it solely on skill to the corners, maybe similar to what Wood had with his damage.
Suarez sitting up there in 8th, defending that spot. All Suarez needs here at this point is just stay focused. Suarez with considerable damage on the front wing of his car, but the fact that he's had the clean air to work with in front of him has helped. He's been able to keep Gattuso and Tao both at bay. And again, Suarez, it'll be key for Suarez to just keep focus. We've seen the Iberian driver have some great drives, and we've seen some drives here in this series that have ended unfortunately for him because he maybe just lost focus for that one quick moment. But like I said, Suarez right now sitting in a really, really good spot here in 8th. Catching 7th here looks maybe impossible. Wiltshire pulling off the move on Lemelin. Those two had been hooked up for a little bit. Wiltshire going to go up to 12th, pull off the pass on Lemelin. We've got the replay. Let's bring it to you now. Wiltshire just... Oh, you know what? I think what happened there is Lemelin made a bit of an evasive move to avoid Nuno Moreira, who let them go by because he knew they were battling for position. and Lemelin loses that spot, winds up losing that spot to Wiltshire, and I'm sure, I know that's not what Nuno had intended, but that's just the way it worked out. And it almost looks like Nuno's given up on it. In fact, he probably has given up on any chance of catching Victor Rodriguez at this point, and he decided to go ahead and let those two fight their battle, which, you know what? Hats off to Nuno. That's a pretty good move. He's got to be careful, though, to not give up too much time so that Noor-Lampe catches him. So we'll keep an eye on that. I think Juha's about 5 seconds behind him.
And I think John G. Hill just had some big trouble in where I think he might have just had brake failure because he went head first into a tire barrier. You'll see this on the GSRC replay. Something mechanical or something hardware must have just happened right about on the exit of this corner.
Yeah, I didn't actually pick it up, but boy, he just goes straight off the track.
If that thing stayed locked at 88 miles per hour exactly through that entire corner before slamming to the wall, something mechanical must have happened at this point.
Possible hardware failure.
Yeah.
You know, we're watching Juha Noor-Lampe right now and sits in 4th place. And you know what? He does have a little bit better pace here late in the run, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late, as we now have under 4 laps to go. The gap 5.3 seconds. That is going to be that's going to be tough to pull off.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough, just like this tough battle we've been talking about multiple times for 8th, 9th, and 10th at this point. Suarez is still very tough to pass. Gusto just can't get the exact run he needs to because he's still 4/10 back, it seems, right down the straights. And then Toe, again, remember, is having the issues possibly with the under tray at this point. So these guys just seem to be attached to their positions. It's going to be absolutely hard for them to pass at this point, the way it's looking at this point.
Well, I said it before, I'll say it again. Suarez is not just going to give you a position here. They're going to have to earn every bit of it. A little surprised Gattuso has not been able to complete that yet. He's been awful close a couple times, but just hasn't been able to dial it in. These three, Rodriguez that time, fastest lap of the race. It was the 1:26.062. He now has the gap under 2 seconds, folks. We might have a race here. We'll see. I'm excited about the prospect because Victor has had one hell of a drive, and he could be capping this off with a win. Journo's certainly aware of where he is at. You can see him in the mirror. He knows he's there. You got to wonder how hard is Journo pushing right now. Has he used up his equipment? Has Victor used up his trying to get there? Will he have enough left over these last 2 laps when they come across the line? And you know what? Right here, Victor's going to have the advantage of having a car to draft off of, and Pedro Lopez just in front of him. Going to get a nice pull up the straight here as he tries and goes and catches our leader. That's going to help. I don't think it hurt much. The gap now at 1.9 seconds, so he did lose a little bit, but let's see if he'll gain a back here as we get down in the center. Just 2 laps to go. Journo got to be feeling some pressure. That being said, Journo not one to usually make mistakes, Justin.
Yeah, very talented driver. Has to make sure he doesn't think about what's going on behind because he still has a decent gap. He still has a lap car he can possibly use on the last lap as a bit of a pick if need be. Rodriguez, as you're following along with him, does have the pace, but it's going to be absolutely close to be able to reach him at this point, especially with a lap and a half to go. It's going to take maybe a mistake, even a slightest of a mistake, to close up enough to have the toe of Frisch for Rodriguez to make the pass.
Yeah, and Journo has got some traffic in front of him, and I'd be really concerned about this here. You really got to hope these guys will play nice. Stevenson gets out of the way. Does not interrupt Journo's line at all. Frisch getting a great run here down the back stretch. Actually, Rodriguez not getting much. Not getting any help at all. They're going to come across the line with 1 lap to go. The white flag is out, folks. Journo Frisch going to come around in the lead. Victor Rodriguez chasing 1.8 seconds. And as try as he might, I just don't know if it's going to happen. Paul Schwinn having to get out of the way here and let the leader by. That all worked out good. He lets Victor get through there clean also.
Yeah, but look at the gap. It just went up 4/10 because that was the right where Rodriguez didn't want to end up reaching him, right on the entrance of the corner. Ends up losing him the 4/10 and might just help Frisch just hang on at this point.
Yep, I think Journo had this in control all along. Victor having a great drive, though. Again, it was a big day for the Iberian driver. He'll pick up 4 spots to finish on the podium. Got to finish this lap. Got to finish the lap out of the hairpin one last time. Nuno Moreira back there took a stab at it. Podium certainly going to help him. Nuno races for the wins, but he will be satisfied with another podium finish, I'm sure. Here we go. Victor Rodriguez. Journo Frisch comes across the line, waving at us. Victor going to finish second here in the CTC Lotus 79 Championship. Another big win for Journo Frisch. Victor Rodriguez with a great drive today. Nuno Moreira in third. And the preacher, Juha Norlampi, starts back in 7th. He finishes 4th today. Ove Trengrid. Trengrid trying to haul off Ruokola across the line. He'll do it. Ruokola certainly tried to get it there at the end. But Trengrid will come there in 5th. And Ruokola honestly had the tough race. Spent the whole race recovering after a sloppy start. And Caradine Buafia with a 7th place run. And Caradine, a good race today, picking up a lot of spots to get there and stay relevant in the top 10. And the battle for 8th still rages on. We still don't know who's going to win this race. Here they come. Suarez has got that damage. Who's going to figure this out? Down the front straight. Looks like Suarez going to hang on. And Pablo Lambara Suarez will hang on for 8th. Daniele Gattuso for a 9th place finish. And Giltau with a 10th place run. That's right where he started. Those drivers spent the majority of this race fighting for those 3 spots. Well earned by every one of them. Great race. Now, that's going to wrap this one up. We're going to go to a quick break here on the Global SimRacing Channel, and we'll be back with the complete results here in the Lotus 79 CTC Championship. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Global SimRacing Channel. And you just saw the Lotus 79 Classic Team Championship. 30 laps here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and we got it in the books. 35 cars started and one winner. Cherno Friesch today with a big win. And Victor Rodriguez, I would say with an even bigger second place, was catching Cherno there at the end, but just ran out of laps. Maybe if he'd had about 3 or 4 more laps, maybe we would have seen that happen. Nuno Moreira going to finish third, right where he started. Juha Norlampi, the preacher, overcomes a less than stellar qualifying effort and finished fourth. Fifth going to go to Ove Trengrade, and we just didn't get him on air enough because Ove had a pretty solid, quiet race. Kalle Ruokola, race that did not come without excitement, finishes sixth. Caradine Boafia picks up 5 spots and finishes in 7th. 8th going to go to Pablo Lambera Suarez, 8th place. Daniele Gattuso, 9th, and Gilto will finish in 10th today. Justin?
Pedro Lopez finished off in 11th spot. Interesting story with Sean Wiltshire now in 12th spot, reporting he had to turn his wheel 10 degrees to the left to go straight down the straightaways. He still ends up finishing 12th over Lemelin, who finished off in 13th. Matt Wood had some early troubles, was able to recover after starting second to finish in 14th spot after his early struggles. Hugo Ajaro finished off in 15th, with Fritwell finishing off behind them in the 16th spot. Berto was involved with a pretty decent amount of battles in this one, came away 17th in front of Andrew Jones. Andrew Enge and Brian Williams rounded out your top 20, with Paul Schwinn just behind them as the first driver, the 2 laps down Club Sean.
Okay, and that's Schwinn there in 21st. 22nd, go to Robin Stevenson. Justin Gully, 23rd. John Hill, 24th. Alexander Kuzanov will finish 25th today. Michael Burton, 26th. Robert Simpkins, 27th. Johnny Bell, 28th. Germano Cervini, 29th. Alex Millward had trouble early in this race and will finish 30th. 31st, another driver. Big trouble early. Leader Hughes, 31st. 32nd, go to Tommy Unhola. 33rd, John Stevens. Nicholas Weir will finish in 34th. And 35th, going to go to Antonino Arcedicono. So there you go. There's your 35 drivers here for the race today. And it does look like we've had someone show up for an interview. Let's talk to our winner, Cherno Friesch, down there celebrating now here in Montreal. Cherno, congratulations, sir.
Hi, Sean. Thank you very much. I think it was a good week for me.
I think so. It started with a great qualifying effort. Share a little information with us if you want. What's the key to a good qualifying effort here in Montreal?
I think key is always to like the track, to have a setup that suits your driving style, and of course in qualifying it comes down to being quick on one lap. I'm usually rather quick in qualifying, and then I begin to struggle a little bit in the races. Other guys seem to be maybe a little bit of the opposite.
Well, there was a lot going on behind you. You were able to get away from that quick off the standing start. Was that the key really to a good race for you? Was getting off to that great start?
I think it was. In the beginning, I felt pretty much in control and had a nice gap to people behind me. Then I saw the fight between Nuno and Victor. In the end, things changed a bit when Victor passed Nuno. He suddenly began to do really quick laps, and in the end I was struggling a little bit, but was able to bring it home safely. Okay,
so you were very aware of what Victor was doing behind you then?
Definitely I was. Congrats to him. He was really strong this week. So were several of the other usual suspects.
Yeah, so is there a passing of the torch going on? Is Nuno passing the torch to Victor? Is something going on there that I don't know about?
I don't think so. It's quite fascinating. So I've been running this series for a long time now, and all the seasons are different. Sometimes a certain driver really shines, and next season things are just the other way around. And I don't know what's the reason for that, but it makes things interesting.
Well, Journo, thank you very much for taking a couple minutes to chat with us. Anybody you'd like to thank for the big victory today?
Just my opponents. Keep it exciting every week. So thanks to you guys as well for doing great broadcasts all season long. So bye-bye.
All right, Journo, thank you very much. And Journo Frisch, again, the big winner here today. Justin, always fun watching him wheel it around. Journo, definitely one of the best available here in the Lotus 79 CTC Championship.
Yeah, he had a great drive today, someone that's a very good driver overall, and we've seen that talent today with the fast qualifying time, with the ability to be able to keep the car clean while working his way through traffic, and to pull away and be able to keep the car the pace they need to be to stay in front with Rodriguez, who is slowly closing in. One mistake, it could all went away, but for Journo, able to have a perfect run, I think, to be able to seal up this victory today. Yeah,
and well, it's been a good day here in Montreal, but it's time to wrap it up. Now, listen, folks, I don't want you to leave until I'm done with the credits, but I do want to tell you, here in just over 5 minutes, we're going live again for the Absolute Beginners Formula Eagle Season 13 Race of Champions on the short B course at Barber Motorsports Park. In the Legends car. So that should be fun. Go check that out. Have a little fun to wrap up your viewing experience here on the Global SimRacing Channel. We want to thank the Lotus 79 Classic Team Championship for choosing GSRC as their exclusive broadcast company. And folks, the original music that gives every GSRC broadcast that unique flavor and feel is thanks to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them now. There they are. Here's Eric, Casey. Casey's got his antlers on today. Now, the Lotus 79 Classic Team Championship returns in 1 week, Sunday, May the 20th, at the historical Silverstone Circuit. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you join us. Sliding across your screen now are some of our upcoming broadcasts, so check those out. Mark them down on your calendar. If you'd like more information about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, you can find it all on our website, globalsimracingchannel.com. You can also find upcoming broadcasts right here on this YouTube channel that I hope you subscribe to before you leave today. If you haven't done that before, stay in touch with us. Find us on social media, Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook, just go over there and type in Global SimRacing Channel, all one word. We're on Instagram. I'm sorry, I almost forgot about that. GSRC_Graham. Now, finally, on behalf of my booth mate today, Justin Prince, our director, Joe Peak, our camera artist, Dougie Beard, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle for old Buddy Soup. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.